child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. Come, peasant king, to own him. The King of kings, salvation brings. Let loving arms enthrone him. Raise, raise a song on high. The Virgin sings her lullaby. Joy, joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of Mary. Mary, this is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. Nails, spears shall pierce him through. The cross he bore for me, for you. Hail, hail, the Word made flesh, the babe, the Son of Mary.
This week, we celebrate the second week of Advent, the candle of love. I'm reminded of the greatest commandment that Jesus ever gave, to love God with all our heart, mind, and soul. But then he also says to love one another. And it's wonderful to anticipate and celebrate that this week. I'm also reminded specifically about the Christmas story. And when the angel Gabriel came and announced to the Virgin Mary that she would be blessed to carry the Christ child. Now, one of the things that I've had the privilege of doing is traveling to Israel. And our first stop each and every time that we go is to the site where Gabriel met Mary. There's a beautiful church that is built on that ground. It is huge. And within that church, the nations around the world donated art pieces representing the love for Christ from all the different countries of the world. In fact, let me read for you that passage to draw us back to that moment when God pierced through the darkness and showed up to Mary. It says this in Luke chapter 1, verse 26. It says, in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a village in Galilee, to a virgin named Mary. Now, one of the first things that I notice here that we kind of fly over is that God chose Mary, but he also chose Mary who lived in Nazareth. Something that you need to know about Nazareth is Nazareth was despised among the Jewish people. It's because the Gentiles were intermingled with the Jewish people. This was not acceptable to the Jewish people. And why would God choose anything in Nazareth? In fact, many times you would hear the commentary during that time is, does anything good come out of Nazareth? I think sometimes, depending on where we're at in our seasons of life, we feel that sometimes with our family and with our friends. Maybe we've let someone down. Maybe we've made mistakes from our past. Maybe you're entering into this Christmas season and you just feel like it's the same year over and over, that no one gives you a second chance, that no one thinks the best of you, that maybe no one understands your heart, and maybe you feel judged. You feel as if there is no hope or nothing better, or maybe even worse, you don't feel the love from your family, from your friends that God calls us to give. Well, I want to encourage you today because I'm reminded of the fact of why God chose Mary. You see, I believe that God doesn't choose perfect people. God chooses broken people for his perfect plan. And God used broken people throughout the history of the world to be able to bring forth and usher in the hope of glory in Jesus Christ. And that's what we have the privilege of doing today, of remembering the love that God has for us, that even at our worst, God still chooses us. Now, one practical thing I want to encourage you this week is to gather the family together, maybe one morning, maybe this Saturday, and to be able to have a breakfast and make specifically waffles for breakfast. Now, Terry, why would you say cook waffles? Well, in the country of Sweden, they actually celebrate the Annunciation, the announcement to Mary, by making waffles. Now, there's a lot of history as to the why, and actually it comes from a mistake in the pronunciation of the word waffle, but the truth is what I'd like you to do is to make the waffles and then make hearts out of them, make circles out of them. And as you serve them, share with one another the love that you have. Share one aspect about another individual that you care about. Name one hope that you have for another family member or friend. But as you celebrate that breakfast, let's remember the love that God has for you and for me, that he chose us and he chose Mary to usher in the hope of glory. May God bless you this week.